Hello YouTube, WILDMAN here. Now on today's episode, I'm working out in the bullpen in the backyard, and it's a very gloomy and slightly rainy day. Like every once in a while, as I was setting up my equipment, the rain literally would start falling and then it would just stop. So this is going to be a very interesting workout session. But to tell you the truth, I love this weather. It kind of feels like a man versus God thing out here. So I really enjoy being out here at this time in this weather, doing my thing. But you know what the funny thing is, as it's starting to rain on me at this current moment, is this is probably the best weather. Like, this is summertime in Great Britain. They have terrible weather. It looks like this every day. But honestly, every once in a while, I enjoy this weather, and it's good to get outside and to test yourself when you can. So on today's menu, I'm going to be doing the chains deadlift. I'm also going to be doing a bunch of stone throws in between and some burpee tire flips, and I believe the sledgehammer as well. So this is going to be a very standard WILDMAN workout giant set. So let's jump in, follow along. Let's see what we can get done on this very gloomy day. So now that I'm out of the bad weather and into good weather, let me tell you about this workout. I'm basically going to be working up to a 1 rep max doing the deadlift. And I'm really going to be focusing on my singles as I go in, where I start from a dead stop. And eventually I'll be adding chains. And in between that, I'm going to be doing some burpee tire flips. This is one of my favorite exercises to do because it builds that explosiveness that you need as you're going up in weight for the deadlift. And it's a great strongman movement. And I'm also going to be doing some sledgehammer strikes as well, because this is great for shoulder mobility and to work your obliques and to get that extra conditioning as you're going up in the weight to make sure you're warm. And I'm also going to be doing a stone over the shoulder, which is just an explosive movement in addition to get familiar with the stones and to go up in weight. And like I said, I'm going to be adding the chains as I go up. And this is going to make it so that it'll be heavier at the top, but a little bit lighter on the bottom. And I'll be able to grind that weight out as it gets heavier and heavier. Now, I really like working out in inclement weather like today, because it really just throws a different stimulus into what I'm trying to do. I never really liked or enjoyed working out inside of a commercial gym because it's air conditioned, you're inside, and there's people around. So you really don't get the same benefits as being outside and alone. Because when you're outside and alone, whatever the weather is that day, you just have to deal with it. So of course, it's never ideal to get rained on, but something about getting rained on actually motivates me to work out just a little bit more. And it's something different, and it really gives you that God versus man feel. And I really love that feeling. It really drives me to want to push it extra hard when I'm working out. Now, if you were paying attention, you can see that I'm really trying to master the singles, where each rep is at a dead stop. And I'm trying to make sure that once I'm locked out, I push my hips down. That's what I'm practicing as I'm going up in weight, because I know I can lift this, and with the chains getting heavier, it's a great time to learn how to move quickly through that middle. Because as the weight gets heavier on a barbell without chains and it comes to max weight, it gets harder and harder to really push through that middle. So I'm really trying to teach my muscle memory to push through that middle. Now, from 340 pounds on the bottom, which makes it 380 pounds at the top, I only was doing 1 rep. Because the thing about deadlift is it can wear your central nervous system down really fast. Unlike all the other compound movements, where if you miss it or if you do too many reps as you're going up, you might be able to still recover fast enough to hit your 1 rep max or to hit your 1 working rep max for the day. So here on in, I'm just mainly focusing on making sure that I don't wear down my CNS and that I'm able to lift it quickly through the middle and use proper technique. And as I was getting up to my top set here, doing all these tire flips and burpees and sledgehammer strikes and stone over shoulders, I felt pretty warm and ready to try to hit the most weight I've ever hit since my surgery. So this is going to be 470 pounds total. And it was definitely a grind through the middle, but let me tell you something, that moved very smooth. So I was very pleased with that, and I knew that I was on the right track. But it's also nice to know that I got the most out of my workout, because I'm working on my athleticism, my explosiveness, my obliques, and my shoulders, and everything else that I need in order to be a good athlete all around and not just wasting time on the deadlift. Well, as you can see now, it started to rain really hard on my last set. So I had to do it real quick and move the weights forward underneath the shelter so that the weights don't get ruined and don't rust up from being out in the rain. And I'm gonna have to clean it to make sure that that doesn't happen. I've actually been sitting under here for a while and the rain just finally started to let up. So now I can continue on with the workout. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna do some stone lifts. And I'm also gonna continue to do the tire flips and the sledgehammer strikes as well for the total body workout. So let's pop into that right now. Now for the variation giant set, I stuck to the same strongman format, but I replaced deadlifts with doing heavier stones. So this is the buffalo stone at 156 pounds, and I'm very happy I'm able to lift that because there was a time when I couldn't lift that after my surgery. This is the ox stone, and it weighs about 192 pounds. And this is another weight that I couldn't do, and I was happy that I was able to do this at the continuation of my surgery. Now, this is the rhino stone. I actually have one more stone after this, but this weighs 220 pounds. And you can see this is the fastest I've ever flipped this up. So this was excellent improvement. I was very happy, especially since I did 470 pounds on the deadlift. And like I said, I just stuck to the same format where I was doing the burpee tire flips, and then I would move over and do the sledgehammer strikes when I was done, just to make sure that I was continuing to hit that nice even number by the time I was completed with all my work. And then for the assistant giant set, I was doing 3 rounds of seated bicep curls. This is something I learned how to do in physical therapy, and I'm gonna kind of carry it over because I feel like the range of motion is perfect for the biceps. Then I would do some weighted ab mat sit-ups to work that interior chain, since I've worked a lot of posterior chain. And then I would move over to the Nordic hamstring curls, where you get a nice explosive push from the chest and you really isolate those hamstrings. And for the accessory giant set, I was doing 3 rounds, and I was doing something called stubborn curls, which is something that you can do at the very end of your workout when your biceps are tired. And then you can stimulate them a little extra to help them grow. And I was also doing some hitchhikers, and I wanted to isolate my back a lot more when I was done. So I wanted to make sure my back was finished off. And face pulls is another one of my staples I like to use for the back. And of course, as the workout comes to an end, the rain has now stopped, meaning that I am the victor. I have defeated the rain through this workout. At least that's what I'm gonna tell myself to make myself feel better. And ironically, as I end this workout, battling the weights through this inclement weather, I now feel a serenity, calm, and peace within myself. And that's just the benefit of working outside. And no matter what the weather hands you, you just take it and you do the very best you can. And if you complete the workout in that weather, I consider you to be the hero in the story. Really appreciate everybody coming by and working out with me, and I'll see you next time. Thank you.